Junior Jewels, I'm Carly.
And I'm Jess, and we are the hosts of Typical Tuesday Night,
a Taylor Swift podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Typical Tuesday Night podcast. I'm Carly.
And I'm Jess.
And we are here on our second YouTube video.
Yes.
First episode of 2025.
I can't believe it.
I really can't either. It's so fun because earlier today, before we were recording this, we had our planning meeting for all the fun things we want to do in 2025. And I'm so excited.
I know. It's going to be a good year.
We always record late because we talk too much. But I feel like we were just talking about all the fun things that we have planned and want to do. And it's fun that we started YouTube right before on New Year's Eve.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just really excited for that for 2025.
Yes, starting off on a great foot. If you either haven't listened to last week's episode or you've forgotten or you didn't check us out, don't forget we are on YouTube now. We're super excited. Hello to everybody watching us on YouTube. I
still forget that people are watching us.
I know.
I really weird.
I'm trying to get better at oh yeah, look at the camera.
We'll get there.
We will. But it's so much fun, and thank you to all of you who have commented on the YouTube video and expressed that you love watching us talk versus just listening, and also at the added dynamics of adding photos in and
I know
and all that stuff.
It was really fun. When I was watching, because I wanted to rewatch it back and stuff, and it was so fun. Because Jess is our amazing videographer, editor, all that. Big claps to Jess. But when I went back to watch it, it was so cool how it was we were talking about the outfits, and there it was. Yes. It was really fun. It was a cool, different aspect, I guess. So it was really fun.
For sure. And again, this is not replacing anything. We're still, if you want to watch us, we're here on YouTube for you to watch, but we are still on all podcast platforms. Nothing's going away. This is just a fun added element to the podcast.
Lots of good things. Yes. And if you didn't know, I'm sure everybody does, but don't forget we have our Patreon as well as a new added thing. We have some really fun things that we're going to be doing with that as well in 2025. We talked about how amazing the trivia night went. That was seriously so much fun.
I know. I realized the other day, I was we never on the podcast followed up about
with that
trivia.
It was so fun.
It was so fun.
It was really cool. So if you guys weren't there, we did 3 different levels too. There was an easy, and I even feel the easy got
Some
hard.
Of them were hard. I know.
And then it was medium and hard, and it was so fun, and just the back and forth. So every couple questions we would pull up the scoreboard for everybody to see, and the back and forth, I was
it was
certain people
really tight.
It was between so people. Such tight races, all the prizes that were won. It was just really fun. So don't forget, if you are not on Patreon, you will get access to those. We'll probably do one every quarter if we can. And it's only $5 a month. And you'll get 2 bonus episodes every single month as well. And we're a lot more candid on there. We do all of our clowning over there. It is really good. I mean, I am clowning hard for Rep TV. And it's 2025. Here we are. Year of the Snake.
Year of the Snake.
Let's go. I'm ready for it.
I'm ready for
Are you ready for it? There you go. I didn't even do that on purpose.
I think we're all past ready.
For real though. Who was it in our Taylor Swift group chat? Your sister-in-law that was I've been clowning for Rep TV for 4 years. And I was oh my gosh, yeah.
That's so true.
It's ridiculous. Okay, but we have not read a review in the last little bit. So I found this review on Apple and I was I have to read it. It's so sweet. So pulling up our Apple. Okay. So this is perfect. It's from I'm Ready For It is their name. Perfect. So that's perfect. They said, this is one of the only 2 podcasts I listen to, and it's my fave. It's very helpful to understand the Swiftyverse. They talk about everything in depth and are so fun to listen to. When I'm yapping about Taylor Swift to my family, I always tell them that I get my information here. I recommend 100%, and I'm always so excited to listen on Tuesdays. Love you, Carly and Jess.
Oh,
it's the best.
It's the best.
I know we say that every time, but it really is.
We seriously love your guys' reviews so much. We read them all, we love them, and we we do want to start reading. We read them pretty often, but we have decided this year we are reading at least one every single episode because it's so fun. We love to hear what you guys have to say. So like always message us, or there's even like a text feature. If you scroll down to the show notes, you can just like send a message, super easy, comment on the YouTube. Yeah.
There's lots of ways to reach us.
Yeah.
Lots of ways.
But we are going to jump into today's episode, and it's so fun because obviously it's the beginning of a new year, and Carly and I keep saying like it's kind of crazy to think we have only done the podcast for like just over 1 year.
I know, it's wild.
Because it feels longer than that, but I also feel like it's fun because even just within that short amount of time, we've kind of fallen into a groove of like we already have traditions with the podcast, which is super fun.
So fun.
Things like misheard lyrics or the drafts or other things like that. And I think especially some of these beginning of the year episodes are going to be kind of traditions, which is really fun. So like today we are talking about like a Taylor Swift year in review. And we're just going to look back at 2024 and talk about like, we're going to go month by month, kind of talk about the major moments in that month and just kind of reflect on it. And it's going to be so fun.
It was a big year.
It was a big year. And obviously you guys know you were around for all of our news updates. This is like a brief skim of like the big
like
moments.
Everything you missed if you didn't listen, or the things you need to remember.
Yeah, so much happened.
I know. Okay, so we're gonna go back to January. I think this was one of my all-time favorite 2024 moments. Was January 28th, the AFC Championship went.
I'm like giddy.
I am too. I'm just like, how do I even talk about this?
No, it's so
but when
cute.
she went on the field, pure magic. Like
pure magic.
It was what every love story needs to be made out of.
Yes. It gave Cinderella story. It gave One Tree Hill. It was just like classic sports rom-com.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
And so unexpected because obviously she'd never done it before. And like if you were like, would she ever do it? You're kind of like, I don't know. Well, probably not. And so for all of a sudden to see her on the field, jumping out of my seat.
Oh, it was incredible. It was so cute. And like, I just didn't he like whisper like I love you or something like that. I'm just like, and honestly, the kiss, the pictures, all the angles, everything. It was
everything just about it. It was so fun. A huge highlight.
Oh, I know. I'm like, well, that was the end. That was the best moment of 2024.
The peak.
And we'll see you later.
There's still so many great moments like
there
that.
Were. Oh, man. Okay, so then a couple days later, I thought this was really cool. Taylor Swift ended up topping the year's Billboard Power 100 list. And I didn't really understand what that was. I don't know if you remember what that was.
No.
I had to like relook it up. Basically, it is so it says the Billboard Power 100 is an annual list of the most influential executives in music industry. So this was the first time that she ever topped this Power 100 chart. And it's only the second time ever that an artist has topped the chart. So most of the time it's like influential executives in the music industry.
That's interesting.
The only other time that it has happened, I thought this was also interesting. I like for real. So I'm like, can I come up with another word? But I can't. I can't. Beyonce and Jay-Z in 2014. So I just thought that was dang it. I was gonna say interesting.
Crazy.
But really cool that she like hit that, and to be only the second artist to ever do so. That's like really cool.
That is so cool. Dang, that's crazy. I forgot about that. And this is why it's so fun to do
to like reviews.
Because we talked about this in our episode last week, but like trying to think back to the beginning of last year and just like when I was like, what was I listening to? It's like, I don't know. Like all that, like the Super Bowl feels like so long ago. Speaking of the Super Bowl, February was a big month. We had the Grammys and the Super Bowl. The Grammys.
It's true. The Grammys. That was a big moment too.
The Grammys was insane. It was huge. It was a huge peak moment. And I feel like some of these moments are going to be fun to talk about because kind of again, like last week I was talking about, because it's like so, I don't want to say been there, done that, but like kind of like the rep bodysuit. It's like, but when you really think about the Grammys as a standalone moment, huge deal.
Oh my, yes.
And it's just kind of like, well, yeah, it happened. And then the album came out and then the Eras tour continued and life has gone on. But it's like, she freaking announced TS11 at the Grammys.
Telling you a secret that I've been keeping from you for the last 2 years, which is that my brand new album comes out April 19th. It's called The Tortured Poets Department.
When we all thought it was going to be one rep.
Yeah.
And then it was new music, which it's funny because technically in her like cycle or like the pattern that she follows, that technically was what was next.
That's true.
Was new music. But
also I've never thought a Taylor album would drop in spring.
Yeah. It's
like that
fall.
Was really mind-blowing to me. I thought for sure we would get
she's like new TS11 and it's coming in April. We're like, what? Also, you're still on tour.
I know.
Like,
what? Like, what are you doing? You were insane. Yeah. Well, and it's so cool to think about the Grammys because not only did she announce that huge album that nobody was expecting, but she won Album of the Year.
Yeah.
Which gave her 4 Album of the Years.
Yeah. She broke that record.
Like, you think about how big that moment is, and like, I feel kind of bad, but I always forget it.
Yeah.
Because all I can think about is Tortured Poets.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, give me that new music.
Mm-hmm. I know. Yeah. She won Album of the Year for Midnights and Best Pop Vocal Album for Midnights.
I always forget that too.
Yeah.
I'm like, meh.
Oh yeah. You won awards.
Wait,
that's why you were up on stage talking to us.
But even like, okay, yeah, Best Pop Vocal. I'm like, no, like she won Album of the Year. Like that's what really matters, which is terrible to say. Like, but anyway.
Oh, the Grammys. I cannot wait.
Oh, I
cannot wait.
Very excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. And then the Super Bowl, which was it's crazy. Those are like back-to-back weeks every year too. Busy time for Travis and Taylor.
Yeah.
And she went with Travis like paid for the $1 million suite. And some of the people that were with her were like Ashley Avignon. Is that how you say that? I never know. Avinon. That sounds way better. Ashley Avignon. That sounds better.
I feel like we're terrible at names. Like I was gonna say but like I'm gonna throw you under the bus too. I feel like we're both terrible at names.
It's easier when your name is Ice Spice.
That's true.
She was also there, which like was kind of random to me.
It was.
Because we had
when was the last time we saw them together?
The VMAs, which wasn't like
that's true.
Way long ago.
I feel like we saw them like consistently together for like a little bit.
I just don't feel like we'd ever seen them together in like a non-work setting.
Yeah.
That's why it was like kind of random.
Yeah.
But it was great. She was entertaining to watch because she did not know what was going on and she was just along for the ride, which was great.
We all need that friend.
I know.
Just there for the ride.
It's true. Especially as Swifties. A lot of us have those kind of people that just like join us just because. So, also obviously Blake Lively, which obsessed with like between Blake and Taylor's outfits.
Oh, it was just
pure perfection.
Yes. I'm just like, Blake, your hair is incredible.
Yes, it was so good. Also, Lana Del Rey was there, Keely Teller, Andrea Swift, obviously. So Taylor was only on the screen for 53 seconds.
I forgot that.
Which is not very long.
It's not.
And I'm sure lots of people were still mad
very
about
mad.
it.
I'm sure. Very mad.
And then obviously she went on to the field after. And then that was also when they had that after party for the Super Bowl. That was super fun. Like there was like lots of videos of like they were singing Love Story.
That's right.
Like, and she had like that cute, I mean, obviously same as the game, but like the braid and they were just like way chill and dancing. And then wasn't that when Jason wore the mask?
Oh my gosh, yes.
The like, what are those called?
The I want to say macho, but it's not that. It's
like I can't think of it.
I don't know.
Mariachi. It's not mariachi.
I know. I was gonna say mariachi too, and I was like,
you guys know what we're talking about. The like wrestling mask, which was so funny because didn't he just find it on the ground or something?
Oh, really? I don't remember.
I think he just found it on the ground and
it would not surprise me with him. That's amazing.
Oh, so funny. And then we had also the People's Choice Awards, which was super fun because Travis and Taylor both won awards.
I forget that too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I figured Taylor, but when I was like typing this up, I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
that's right.
Taylor won for Female Artist and Pop Artist, and then Travis won for Athlete of the Year.
I wonder if he could win. I bet he wins that again.
I could see that. I actually could see it. I would bet more money on it this year than I would have last year.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I feel like there's Taylor Swift influence because People's Choice Awards, which is obviously fan voted. Yeah. And they were barely dating at that point. So I'm like, now where it's like so established, I'm like, I could totally see.
Yeah. Unless it did get the hype from being new.
True.
I don't know. We'll have to see. It'd be interesting to see who else is like up for that.
Now we're all like so interested in award shows. I'm like, how do they pick? How do they vote? How do they like, is it just you just submit a name? Do it? They narrow it down to 4 and then people vote, you know, like
give me all the details.
Does it
I need to know all of it for reals. Oh man. Okay. So March, we finally got the Eras Tour on Disney Plus, which was cool. And I looked this up. I wanted to make sure I got this exactly right. 4.6 million views in 3 days. That is wild.
That is so wild.
It made it the most watched music film of all time at that point.
In 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
That's crazy. That
is so crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I was right there with them.
Yeah.
I was part of that. Well, 4.6 million.
Yep. Oh my gosh.
And then this to me did not feel like it was March. I don't know why I felt like this was later on, but when Travis and Taylor went vacationing in the Bahamas.
That was in February or March?
March.
Wow.
I mean, because then I was like, I must be thinking, because they did other vacations too,
like
that I think are just like more prominent in my head.
Yeah.
And so I forget about the Bahamas one, but I was like, oh my gosh, that's right. Like,
yeah,
they did that.
Because they did that when she was on like tour break.
On break, and he just like finished up from football.
Yeah. Cuties.
Oh, so cute.
Yeah, and then in April, we had April 1st was the iHeartRadio Music Awards, which Taylor won a bunch of. She won Artist of the Year, Pop Artist of the Year, Best Lyrics for Is It Over Now, which I think is so fun.
I love that song.
TikTok Bop, Cruel Summer, and Favorite Tour Style. And then Jack Antonoff also won for Producer of the Year, which is super fun. And then we had Coachella.
That was so fun.
Oh my gosh.
That was another like highlight for me. Like I was like part of it. Like it was. Like it was so fun to see her doing something like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because not that I like really know her, but I feel like the vibe I get from her is that she is somebody that likes to go out and do the like everyday stuff. She loves music. Clearly she's gonna want to like,
and she has friends performing there. Like Jack performed and Lana Del Rey performed and did Sabrina. I don't remember, but
I don't remember.
Just
Sabrina
I spiced it because
she sang Karma.
Yeah, which was fun. But yeah, it was just so fun to like. First of all, and we kind of were like watching it in real time, not real time, but like we were like, oh my gosh, she's there, and she's like by the side of the stage, and then we were like, oh my gosh, she's in the crowd. You know,
it's just so fun.
It is. It's
just
fun
to like see her just living, I want to say a normal life. I know she's not.
Yeah.
But like trying to have some sense of like, I can do things that I want to do that other people do too.
And it's like, I think it was extra special because we're coming off of like her relationship with Joe.
Yeah.
Where like they didn't go and do stuff like that essentially ever that like we saw, which means probably most of what they did was private. But then on top of that, just even that relationship aside, just like her level of fame and like the type of security she needs. Like, it just seems harder. It's hard and not super accessible for her to like be able to have those kinds of experiences.
So when
it's
she
just
does,
so awesome to see her be able to do that. And they had so much fun, and I just loved like seeing her in her like super casual, like she just fit in with everybody that was there, like with her clothes.
Yeah, it was just like such a
she's
vibe.
wearing a New Heights hat.
I loved it. It was perfect.
So cute.
It was perfect.
It really was so perfect. Oh my gosh. And then obviously April 19th is the day all of our lives changed. We got Tortured Poets Department and the anthology. Surprise.
I actually was thinking about that. Was it earlier today? I think so. Anyway, I don't remember why, but I was thinking about like our listening party.
Yeah.
And I was like, I am so glad we did that listening party, because if we hadn't have planned that, we wouldn't be cleaning up from a party to then be together still. Like, we were like the last ones there. Like, I feel like everybody else had left. Maybe one other person
there when it came out.
Yeah.
And then, started like sending texts to people that had left. We're like, oh my gosh, there's another album.
But it was so fun to be able to like listen to it together.
So fun.
In the car.
Because obviously we would have listened to it that night.
Oh,
no
absolutely.
matter what.
Yes.
And it's like, it was like a matter of minutes that we could have had started driving separate directions. It was so fun to be able to sit in the car and listen to it.
I know. I was like really happy about that. I'm just like, that would not have happened.
No.
Because if we had just done like a listening party that wasn't like a full on like event. We're throwing an event and we just like came to your house or my house or somewhere and listened, like we would have chatted after and then been like, okay, bye.
Yep.
So I'm like, oh,
I know.
So happy.
So happy.
Because that was just a shock.
Yes. And we got the Fortnite music video right off the bat, right? Like it came out the day, like later in the day on the 19th.
I think so.
And then she became the first artist in history to occupy the top 14 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. That is insane.
It really is.
I'd be so curious to like go back and see which songs were the top
and like
14.
which order.
Yeah. Now, because that's obviously happened like right away. Before everything started to like marinate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like super curious. I'm like, but Daddy, I love him. Down Bad. Fortnite.
I'm sure Fortnite was
curious
really high.
Because 14's a lot. That's almost
there's
the whole 15 in the first album.
Which poor song was left off?
Yeah. I can fix him.
Both of us.
I can fix him. We are not fans of that song. I have listened to it maybe twice.
Is that it?
I don't know. Probably. I never.
Oh my gosh! Do you really like? You just like will listen and then skip?
I just don't.
Do you don't listen to like forward, like front to back though, Mom?
Not. I do at the beginning.
Okay.
But then I would probably skip it.
Okay.
After I realized I don't really like it.
Like not worth my time.
But then after that, like once I have a decent feel for the album, I kind of like make playlists based off like just random current favorites. So like I'll have a playlist with like, I mean, right after Tortured Poets came out, I kind of picked out my Tortured Poets favorites and made like a Tortured Poets favorites playlist, so I didn't have to skip any.
I don't have to skip because all my favorites are right here.
Right, and then then I revisited the whole album to like give other ones a chance that I wasn't giving as much of a chance, and then eventually those favorite Tortured Poets just get mixed in with my other just like favorite music to listen to. So I don't do a ton of like go to
this album,
Speak Now, and just like listen to it. I don't do that very much.
Okay.
So yeah, I haven't listened to I Can Fix Him very many times.
That's okay. You're not missing much.
Well, that's good. And then also Tortured Poets broke records on the day that it came out by becoming Spotify's most streamed album in one single day, which is absolutely wild.
It doesn't surprise me though. That's the thing, and like I almost feel bad saying it, but she like breaks all these records, and now I'm just like, yeah, okay.
I know.
Like, of course,
not surprised.
Yeah, like
not surprised.
Like, sorry,
you can't.
You'll break it again next year. Like
we are unimpressed. By all of your records you're breaking, we are unimpressed. Just kidding.
Can you like do something else?
No. We love it all.
No, we do.
We are more disappointed when other big outlets or whatever don't appreciate her for who she is. 23. If you know, you know. That's from Patreon conversation, isn't it? Number 23.
Yep.
And then another record just a few days after the album released, it became the first album on Spotify to reach 1 billion streams in a week.
Oh my, like when you really think about that,
1 billion in 1 week. That is insane.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Curious how many times I listened to it in a week. It was literally just on repeat. Yeah. It was just for a while.
Oh, months.
Yeah.
I finally I don't remember what it was. It might have been Kelsey Ballerini, but I was like, I just listened to one song and it's like I came out of the fog. It's what it felt like.
I'm not depressed anymore.
It's like, oh yeah, there's
the weight of Taylor's past relationships.
There's other great music. I can branch out a little. And then Gracie happened.
And then you were just right back in.
Right back
to a different album.
Yes.
Well, it's so fun because after that, she goes back to the Eras tour in May. And we all were wondering, are you going to do Tortured Poets? Are you not? And thank goodness. Shouldn't have been surprised.
Yeah.
But she did Tortured Poets. And it was so fun because she named it Female Rage the Musical.
Yeah.
Which love. Yes. And that just seems so Taylor too.
I know. I remember as soon as she said it, I was just
you're yes. That is absolutely it. And then I think this one, when Taylor and Travis went out in Italy, I think that's the one, one of the ones that really stands out to me. Because that was when they went to Lake Como and they were on the little speedboat and they had the driver take the picture. And I'm
and they were matching and it was so cute.
It's just so fun to me when I see them being able to do stuff that I mean, okay, not that I'm going to Italy and going on a nice little boating excursion on Lake Como, but if I were to go travel, I would have somebody there, take a picture of me and my husband.
Hey, will you take a picture for us?
And to see them doing stuff like that is just so fun to me.
Yeah, for sure. I love
and
that.
You had brought this up earlier, and this was also, I don't know why lately. Well, it's probably because I have a podcast about Taylor Swift. But I've been just having these random Taylor Swift thoughts, as one does. And I was thinking the other day how it is so cool to see her and Travis together. And I'm not not trying to bash any other boyfriend. But I remember just being so about Joe.
Mm-hmm.
And having just being so excited for her and Travis is so fun.
It's so fun, especially because she was with Joe for 6 years. You would think we would be insanely invested in that relationship, and
there just wasn't anything to be invested in.
Exactly. I was well, I'm glad it seems like it's working out.
I was happy for her.
Half the time it really wasn't working out.
Now we know.
Half the time we're just tolerating it, but yeah, it's just there was never much. It's we'd get one tiny, I could just always picture that picture at the award show. I don't even know what award show it was, but where they're sitting at the table together, exactly all cute. It's that's about it.
Yeah.
And I just remember
there was nothing else.
Not having anything to be that excited for.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
And I was fine with it at the time.
Because we didn't know
yes.
any, but now seeing and knowing how it could have been.
Yeah.
It kind of makes you look at it differently.
Yeah. Okay. We have to talk about your new phone case because it's so cute. I'm
so excited.
And it's so perfect for the podcast.
It is. It's a Wally case. If you've never heard of that, it's super awesome. And we'll talk about it more, but it's like pink, light purple and white checkered. And if you know me,
so you.
Light purple is like my favorite color. It's like kind of embarrassing how many like items I own in that color.
Very true, very true.
Like I was ecstatic when we decided that light purple would be incorporated into the podcast.
You won out. It was a better choice.
Carly's a big pink girl.
I'm pink.
She's a pink girl, but it worked out for me. And it's so cute. It's got like one of those finger strap,
like the loops.
Yeah, loops on the back, which I've never had before, and I'm super excited. I don't know how I've survived without it with having kids, honestly.
I really don't know how you did either.
But I have wanted one for so long because you have had one.
I've had one for because
like,
I know the founder.
Oh, you
when
do?
she first started the company.
That's
when was
fun.
that? 2018, 2019? And she just gave me one. She was like, hey, like, will you try this product out? Like, I'm like making this business or whatever. I was like, yeah, for sure. I fell in love and I have not gone back.
Yeah.
Like, I have loved it. Like, so what's really cool is it has like the loop so you can put your finger through. It also has little holes like in the loop so that it can lay flat. So like when you put it in your pocket, it's not like, if you've had like a loopy case, I had one of those prior and I hated that like the loopy case loop would just like, it was so bulky. Like it wouldn't lay flat. So the Wally is nice.
Like silicone.
Yeah. It lays flat, but I can also like lift it up and then it's more like a loopy so that it's like a stand.
Oh, that's cool.
They like talk about how there's like three things. It's like a wallet, a stand, and a loop all in one. Because then, you can put. So I have 4 cards in here, I think, right now, which is really, really cool. It just like holds my credit cards. And then the one I have is different than yours a little bit because I have one that is magnetic.
So you do have that one.
Yeah,
I'm so jealous.
Yeah, so you can like I don't know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, remove the wallet. That's what I was trying to say. Or not. I am so obsessed.
Yeah.
Like it is the greatest phone case.
So fun. I'm so excited to finally have one.
I'm excited you got one. And it's like just so cute. It's so cute.
They're a new sponsor of the podcast, which we're super excited about. And they actually gave us a discount code for you guys. It's just TTN and it gives you 10% off your order. So if you're interested, we'll like link them down below. It's just Wally. It's WALLI cases.com. And they have literally so many super dang cute.
They're so cute.
Like
that's
designs.
The nice thing is I'm like, it's so cute, but like so functional.
Yeah.
Like it's literally my favorite.
Because like my previous phone case like was purple, obviously.
But
it was just plain purple. Like
it
wasn't anything special on it. And I'm like an Amazon case person. And so it's usually just like a plain silicone case. But like I love how much personality this case has with like a cute pattern. Because on Amazon, a lot of the like patterns sometimes are like cheesy or not as cute. And their designs are so cute.
They're so cute. Yes. So we will link that in the show notes. And then TTN for 10% off.
Yeah. Okay. Keep going. We'll move into June. So in June we had Gracie's album released.
It's sad though because I didn't appreciate it then.
No, but that's okay. She was new
a little bit.
We fell hard when we fell.
Yes.
Yeah, because we were obviously super excited for it because Taylor was featured on the album, which this was, I'm pretty sure if I remember right from when we originally talked about this is the first female artist album Taylor has ever been a feature on, which is super cool.
It's really,
I feel like that means a lot.
Oh, she must really like appreciate Gracie as an artist and like respect her and like her art.
Yeah. And also like vibe with her.
Yeah.
And like
honestly, the video of them like making the song. I love it. It's
the
so
fire,
cute. Yes.
I don't know. It was so good. It was so fun. Also, like a fun component of that too is like we obviously see occasionally like Taylor's photos when she's like out and about. And we had seen photos of her and Gracie together, like leaving dinner. But that's all we knew is they were leaving dinner. And then when the videos came out of them making the song, like we were able to connect it back to like, oh, it was that night, like late after they had dinner, they went and like wrote the song. And
I love being able to figure stuff out like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cool.
It is.
Like, oh, that was written that time, and that must have been this. And
yes, just get like little glimpses into like other parts of what she does,
and like when the songs are written. I just always find that really fascinating.
For sure. And it's a track 5, which is really fun. It also has like, I feel like it's a total Taylor Swift Easter egg in the song, in the lyrics, where she says the like 10 months. It's like a clean reference.
Oh, but like what is she?
She says, oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing.
Yeah, because how many times have you listened to this song?
Literally. It was my top song of 2024.
I'm gonna see.
I know, I'm like, what was it?
Let's see. We'll figure this out.
We will.
We got super. I like.
And you'll be past it.
Oh, give it
right?
10 months and you'll be past it.
Give it 10 months and you'll be past
and
it.
if history's clear, the flames always end up in ashes. And what seemed like fate, give it 10 months and you'll be past it.
Yeah, I feel like that's
and even the next part,
reference.
Babylon lovers hanging missed calls on the line. I'm like, that's Taylor. Yeah. Taylor definitely wrote that part.
Yeah, for sure. So that song was super fun when it came out. I remember like a lot of us, like in our Taylor Swift group text, we were kind of like, oh, I wish there was like a little more Taylor. But like now that I've really learned the song more and stuff, it's like just right. Like one verse was plenty. And I mean, I think she's in there more than we realize as far as like harmonizing and stuff. But
their voices blend so well together that I think it is hard. Like sometimes I'm like, who is that?
Yes.
Okay, that's Gracie. That's Taylor. I can hear it now.
Which is funny because when they're separate, it's like really
they
obvious.
don't sound. Yeah.
But yeah, so that was super fun to get that album. And then in June 22nd.
Probably my next favorite moment.
I know. We got Travis on stage at the Eras tour.
I mean, we've talked about it multiple times. Still so shocking to me.
So shocking.
And still so incredible.
So
like
fun.
I can just see him carrying her.
Doing the makeup brush. Watching her throw her little tantrum. I know. Watching her walk away.
I know.
So cute. So
all those
cute.
Videos. We've got to like put some of those up right here on our YouTube.
I know.
If you guys want to see, we'll share some.
It was so cute. I will never be over it. And just the whole background of it, like hearing how it came to be, him initiating it. He didn't get the part he wanted, but I think it was for the best.
The bikes. If he had done that,
that would have been hilarious.
Funny.
That would have been hilarious.
I just can't even picture him riding one of those bikes. Like, what was he
just
thinking?
all of a sudden appears. It's so funny.
That would be amazing.
I know. And then Tortured Poets hit the #1 most streamed album of 2024 on Spotify, just halfway through the year. And only like a month and a half, 2 months since it had only come out.
Yeah. It's, gosh. I mean, it deserves it. It's such a good album.
It is such a good album.
And like, at that point, it's June. Like, we were definitely still just on repeat.
Scratching the surface and in the fog.
For reals, though.
The Tortured Poets fog.
And in July, it hit 14. It's 14 week at #1 on the Billboard 200. This memory still, I love it. Kanye's album. Do you remember this?
I do.
Kanye's album came out and it dropped at second.
Yes.
Because Tortured Poets was still in first.
And
all of the other times his albums have hit first.
Debuted at 1. Yeah. And he couldn't get past. It was so satisfying.
I love it so much.
I know. It was
so much.
So satisfying.
Oh, so good. And then also in July, we don't want to get like too much into this, but I did want to like mention that was when the Vienna shows got canceled because of the terrorist threat. And I mean, we've talked about it a bunch, but I just still feel so heartbroken for all of those Swifties that had tickets to one of those shows.
I know. I remember,
and then weren't able to go to another.
I remember exactly where I was when I found out, and I was just like, "This is so sad." Like I cannot imagine. And it also made me wonder, like, what does this mean for the future of the Eras tour? Like, that's a pretty big deal.
Oh yeah.
Or like,
And, like,
can you come back from it?
I
Like,
know.
is it going to be an ongoing threat? You know?
Well, and you even think of just like how Taylor
felt.
I can't even imagine the variety of
Yes.
emotions
Mhm.
of like, I would have been like really scared,
Like disappointed,
yes, sad,
guilty,
yeah,
even though she shouldn't,
no,
obviously.
oh, not at all.
But yeah, so many emotions. And I was so sad for her.
Yeah.
Also, I was really annoyed. Swifties are great. There's like a faction of annoying Swifties
Yeah.
that were like complaining that like she wasn't doing XYZ. And I'm just like, I don't know.
Yep.
I
know.
Can't. But then we move into August, and August 20th, she broke Michael Jackson's record for the most played nights at Wembley Stadium, which was 8.
That's so cool.
And yeah, she, like in a single tour, and she broke it with 8, but she could have played 20 shows there and filled the stadium every time.
100%.
Which is wild.
It's really cool too when you see that she breaks records of people that are just
icons. Like,
yes.
As iconic
like
as it gets.
how like you can't really get much more than Michael Jackson, like maybe Elvis,
the Beatles,
Elvis, yeah,
and
Taylor Swift
there with all of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
that's good for her.
You know, it's so impressive. And then we also got I went to the Eras tour.
Just went to the Eras tour
in
again.
London, in Wembley. But I brought that up because the next thing I was going to say is we got the "I Can Do It with a Broken Heart" music video, which is so memorable for me because it came out when I was traveling home from London. I watched it on my layover.
That's so cool.
And so that's like a fun memory.
Yeah, that is a fun memory.
Yeah. But I loved that quote unquote music video. It was like very behind the scenes of the tour, which was super fun to see some of those things we were like kind of wanting
how
to
does
see.
this work?
Yeah, we still want to see more, hopefully, but we're hoping that was just a little like preview. Teaser. I'm getting a little nervous that we haven't heard anything
you think
yet, though. I don't know.
We're gonna talk about it next week though.
We are gonna talk about it next week. Yeah,
we're doing some predictions next week,
which is another tradition.
Stay tuned.
A new tradition.
Listen, all the things. We will discuss it.
Yeah, I know.
Because I've got lots of thoughts.
Okay.
Sounds like you do too.
I'm excited.
Okay, we move into September. On September 11th, we had the VMAs, which was fun. We watched those together.
We did.
And because now we are in our award show. It really did. It was not great. But we are in our award show era. We are here for the awards.
We are committed.
But it was really cool because she became the most awarded artist in VMA history, with 7 awards, making her total 30 awards.
That's a lot.
That is a ton.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And like those are cool awards. And like I love the fan voted ones. Like I think those are really cool, but like when they're not the VMAs are fan voted.
Yeah.
All of a sudden I was like, wait a second. I was gonna say the other ones are really cool because they're not fan voted, but now I'm like losing my mind. I think the fan voted ones are really cool because like it's a way for us to like show her like we love you. Like this is really cool. Like we support you.
And sometimes I get kind of, this is like something I would probably normally say on Patreon because it's like a little bit more unfiltered. It's more of like an opinion of mine, but especially with there's a lot of like rankings coming out right now and things like that, and she kind of keeps getting, in my opinion, not what like
she
placed
deserves.
where she deserves.
Yeah.
And people are like writing it off to like, well, she's only this big because of her fan base. I'm like, isn't that the point?
Yeah.
Like, just because there's a lot of us doesn't like discredit, like, shouldn't that emphasize even more her success and like how good her stuff is, because there's so many people that love it so much. And so like I love the fan voted ones because it's like we get to like voice our opinion and show how strong of like admiration there is towards her. And it's just like frustrating to hear like, oh, she only got, you know, the Swifties for Eternity, which is like an Instagram account that we follow. She was posting recently that's like, she was like, she like on this list, like she was down here and she totally should have been up here. I think it was a Rolling Stones one or something. And she's like numbers wise blowing everyone out of the water. So like, how can you say, and like, we're totally like, we've said before, like she doesn't have to win every award. She doesn't have to be number one all the time. There are other great artists, people, but there are certain times where it's like, this seems like kind of biased and not really. It's just kind of like, well, she can't win everything, so Well,
and when people get like, oh, like she won last time, so like we better not give her to her this time, or like people will be mad.
Yeah.
Well, if somebody deserves it,
if someone's the best,
like
they're the best.
That's like saying like, sorry, we can't let the Chiefs into the Super Bowl this year because they won last year.
100%.
That wouldn't be fair.
It's totally
like
the
what?
Same. And like, I don't know. Again, I would, if you're wanting a taste of Patreon, this is it. Patreon. But like, I just can't help but feel it be like somewhat sexist.
Yeah.
I don't think they would have ever done that to like the Beatles.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Or like another like big male artist, but because she's a female, it's like, well, we can't let her win every time, even if she clearly
deserves it.
Like,
and blowing those numbers out of the water.
Everything up, like all these huge record-breaking things we've read. It's like, obviously, she's doing something right.
Well, and like we've talked about, especially like the Grammys, a ton on Patreon and like our thoughts on that and stuff. But in our Patreon group chat, somebody had brought up how and now the thought totally literally just left my head. That is like literally the worst.
I hate when that happens.
No, I remember. She was like talking about how Tortured Poets won all these awards in terms of like, or not awards, like broke a lot of records. Thank you. I'm like so out of it now. Broke all of these records and like stayed on for like how many weeks and like all of these things. It's like, how can you not say that type of an album is worth like album of the year?
Album of the year, yeah.
But then we think about all of these people talking about like, she doesn't deserve it. She won it last year. We can't give her a fifth one. Like, well, why not? And like, we've shared lots of opinions on it, so I'm not going to get into it. If you want to listen, it's all on Patreon. It's a lot. It's a lot. But it's just, it is frustrating to be like, it's true. Like, clearly that album really resonated with people. And like, but just because you're like, she can't win again, you're just gonna.
It's like she sets the bar super high, and then they're like, oh, whatever. Just, we need to like recognize some of these other people.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting.
It's very interesting.
Very interesting.
And then we also got football back in September, which was so fun to see her start coming. And I guess September 5th was the first non-preseason game she went to that, which was really fun. And then we also got to see her and Travis at the US Open. They were so cute. She had like the red gingham dress and the sunglasses, and they were there with like Patrick and Brittany. And it was just so fun to like watch them like sing and like dance, and they were just like, they were having so much fun.
They were.
And it's
super cute.
It's fun to watch people have fun.
I know it is. Oh, I love it. And then in October, she went to the Chiefs versus Saints game in Kansas City, and that's where she was wearing one of her many plaid outfits. And this was also the game where she wore the glitter freckles from, I don't know how to say it.
I think it's Fazit.
It is Fazit.
I think so.
From Fazit. And that was so fun for so many reasons. So different for her. I mean, in general, but also for her. Totally set a trend. People are obsessed. People were buying them left and right. Yeah. But I also like, all I could think about seeing her with those is I'm like, you look like you're going to the Eras tour. And I loved it. Cute.
Yes, it was.
And like, it makes you wonder, like, what all of a sudden like made her decide like, I'm wearing glitter freckles to the football game today.
Yeah, for reals though.
It's like so random, but it was
just all
so
like
fun.
that was so fun. It was so cool to see like the company like post
Mhm.
about how many orders they were getting. Like
Mhm.
that is really cool. Literally though, all I can think about when I think about these freckles is our friend Aubrey.
Yeah.
And she made a reel. Did she end up making this reel?
Yeah,
I think
she
so.
did.
Where she was like, I saw Katie Heron wearing army pants and flip-flops. So
Yeah. So I'm wearing army pants and flip-flops.
but she did that with the like glitter freckles. And that's literally what I think of.
It's so
I'm
funny.
like, it's just like that's spot on.
Mhm.
Like I saw Taylor Swift do this, so I am now going to do this.
Taylor Swift sang friendship bracelets.
Oh.
One line in one song.
We took it. We ran with it.
We ran. We sprinted
We
into
marathon.
the far off galaxy
But
with
for
the
reals?
friendship bracelets.
Oh yeah.
Like
We just like latch onto something. She says it, we're there. We will do it. Whatever you need.
How much, like, honestly, power she
Oh.
has. And that she uses it for good, you
Yeah.
know? Like,
Oh,
she has
100%.
so much influence, and I
Yeah.
appreciate how she uses it. And
Yes.
because I think she does a good balance of, like, talking about what she's passionate about, but
Yeah.
also, like, doing good things.
Yep.
So
100%.
it's great. I love it. And then also when we got to see them go to the Yankees game.
Oh, I loved that.
It's so cute to see them like go on dates. I don't know.
And
Just
like
be
simple
so
dates.
casual.
Like
yeah.
I went to a Yankees game
Yeah.
before. Like
Mhm.
that's
they
something that
they
like
weren't
everybody
doing anything special. They were just it's not like she sang the national anthem.
Yeah.
Or they went on the field as like special appearance. It's like
Yes.
they just went.
They just wanted to watch the
They
game.
watched. They
And I
ate
just
their
think that's
food
so
and
cool.
chatted, and it was so cute.
I know. Like I love that. It's so
Mhm.
cool. And then in November, Taylor posted about making Tortured Poets the top streamed album of the year on Apple Music and about being the top streamed artist and album on Spotify. She's just like, once again, hitting all these records. And she actually broke her own record for the biggest streaming year for any artist in Spotify history with 26 billion streams.
That is insane.
That is so many.
26
Like I don't even think
billion.
I can actually like
No,
process that.
Cannot
No,
comprehend.
no.
No.
She also ranked at 23 on Forbes' World's Most Powerful Women list, and she was actually the highest ranked musician, which I totally agree with. Yep. And then November 29th, after pleading and manifesting and praying, she released the anthology on vinyl.
And we got one.
Oh my
gosh.
And the Eras Tour book, which was really fun.
So fun.
I really like the book. I think it's really cute. It's well done. Like, well, we talked about this.
There are some mistakes.
There are some mistakes, but I think that like I really like the way it was like set out.
Yeah, and it's fun too. Like I've seen people kind of compare it to like a yearbook, and it totally gives like yearbook vibes, and it's so fun.
That is fun. I haven't heard that. That's cute.
Yes, it's so fun. And then in December, we had the last show of the Eras Tour, which is so sad. But the Eras Tour did end up grand total of $2 billion in ticket sales, and it doubled the gross of its like closest competitor. It's insane.
When you really like think about doubling her closest competitor, like that is blowing them out of the water.
Yeah, and I don't know why I feel an obligation to say this anytime we talk about anything about ticket sales. Like that has nothing to do with resale prices. That is purely based off of original like face value tickets.
Yeah.
And so the fact, because I could see people being like, well, yeah, because it costs thousands of dollars to go. It's like, no, it didn't.
Yeah.
And so it's really cool that she hit that number.
So it really is.
Yeah. And then we had her surprise visit to the Children's Hospital in Kansas City, which was so sweet. Loved seeing all those videos. And then obviously she had her 35th birthday. And then her fun Eras Tour party that Travis planned. And
That was
what
cute.
a fun way to end the year.
I know. It was a really good.
We haven't gotten any New Year's content. I'm really curious if we will or not. Just like, what'd you do?
I know.
Who'd you kiss?
Well, okay, wait, really quick. Shazam.
Oh, yeah.
So she was like, look what you made me do. Got registered for Shazam. So now a lot of Swifties are suspecting that, like, she's, I mean, either dropping that or dropping rep.
This totally reminds me of our Patreon episodes too.
I know. We're giving, like, we do a lot of this too.
Yeah.
We're giving. Yeah, we do a lot of this on Patreon. But I am just like, wait, we have to talk about that really quick.
I know. So yeah, if you don't really like get what we're talking about, Shazam, when your song is registered on Shazam, like that is done by the artist. That's not like that comes straight from Taylor Swift. And when Love Story, Taylor's version, got registered on Shazam, it happened the day before it released.
So it's like, but that was yesterday.
Yeah.
We're recording this a little early. So right now it's Friday. Before. Yeah. So the weekend before.
Yeah. So like people have anticipated, they're like, because today is Friday, they're like, could it be today? I think it would have happened by now. Who knows? Maybe it happened and we don't know because we're recording. Could you imagine? So funny.
I don't feel like she would have though. At like it's 11:40 at night.
Well, I think people were thinking like Friday midnight Eastern, so like 10 p.m. our time, kind of a thing.
Yeah, but wouldn't that have been like Thursday night at 10 p.m.?
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And also you made the point of like, you were so close to New Year's Day. Like
I was, for reals though. If she would have dropped some sort of rep or like, look what you made me do today, I was gonna be like, are you kidding me? You do that on New Year's Day.
Yeah,
like you're 3 days away.
I know,
like,
so
come
funny.
On. But anyway, what a good year.
What a great year.
We're excited for 2025.
Very.
I am just I'm really excited to see what she does with no Eras Tour. Because we got a lot of Eras Tour content. And I'm really intrigued to see what she does this year. And we're going to be talking all about it next week.
Yes. So our predictions for 2025 coming at you next Tuesday. Okay. Well, we're super excited for everything Taylor's going to do in 2025. We're really excited everything we're going to do in 2025. Like Carly said, we had our planning meeting for the year tonight.
Yeah.
So it's like super fresh and we're just feeling like way excited for all the things we want to shoot for in 2025 and put out for you guys in 2025. Yeah. So make sure to follow us on Instagram, subscribe on YouTube,
all the things.
Subscribe to the podcast.
Leave a rating, review. What other things do we need to say?
We love it all. We love that you're here. We're grateful for all of your support, all of your kind words, all the time. Couldn't do it without our group of junior jewels that we just love. So
join us next week where we're going to review our 2024 predictions to see which ones we got right. I'm excited to review those. Some of them I remember, some of them I don't. And then we are also going to be sharing our 2025 Taylor Swift predictions because if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And we are manifesting a good year for our girl. Bye, guys.
Bye.